Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me on this edition of the Huddle Hour. Hey, as free agency approaches, the draft approaches, this week specifically, teams are doing their cap casualty purges, and there's a guy that just hit the market that I think, if and when healthy, could significantly upgrade this defense, who that is, and how they could benefit this team. I'll get to that here in a second, but if you guys like this content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and let's just dive right into it. So on Wednesday, Adam Schefter reported that the Buffalo Bills designated two-time Pro Bowler Tre'Davious White to a post-June 1st cut, which is going to save Buffalo just a little over $10 million in cap space, with only taking back $6.2 million in dead money. And so why does Tre'Davious White fit this team's needs? Well, number one is the fact that other than Joey Porter, we have nobody of worthwhile playing the other corner. And we all know the NFL is a passing league. And, you know, you look at Kansas City, their defense was predicated on L'Jarius Sneed and McDuffie to lock down those corners and made it very difficult for offenses to do anything that they wanted to do in the passing game. Obviously, Tre'Davious White has had some injury issues, and that can't be looked away from. That's a huge red flag, and you have to take it into account. But when he has been healthy, basically 7 seasons, 18 interceptions. But if you take away the 3 injury seasons, that's basically 18 interceptions over a 4-year span. And before the injury started happening, he was considered one of, if not the best corner in the league. Now, what type of injury did he have? He is coming off an Achilles injury, which I know from a running back, we've had quarterbacks, we've had receivers come back early. And now that the technology on that surgery is, seemingly getting better, and, guys are being able to come back after, 9-10 months, cornerback is a completely different ball game, right, guys? I mean, constantly backpedaling, constantly putting pressure on that Achilles tendon and calf muscle. And so who knows if he's going to be 100% by the start of the season. He did tear it in October. So 11 months, that puts him in, September range. Does he miss a few weeks? Does he start the season off on the PUP list? But I think his talent, when healthy, is something that needs to be considered. And with a significant need at corner, you definitely have to look at him. He's an upgrade over Patrick Peterson, and would be a good veteran complement to Joey Porter Jr. Now, how does that contract work? Well, like this report says, that if he comes at the right price, just like anything, right? I think right now the Pittsburgh Steelers are projected at $12-13 million in cap space. But right now, with Tre'Davious White's injury history, he's going to be looking for a short-term deal. I'm thinking of something kind of like maybe Emmanuel Mosley from Detroit, a 1-year, couple $1 million, maybe throw a void year on it to make it a little bit more advantageous for the club in the short term, but put him on a prove-it deal. He's coming off a significant injury. If it works out, great. He can reinvent his career and get back on track. If not, you know what? No harm, no foul, and you move on. Obviously, it's reported that the Steelers are going to, look at cornerback options in the draft, but I'm not a huge fan of that, in the sense that you could potentially have a second-year guy in Joey Porter on one side. You would rather get a veteran guy, outside or the slot, and depending on which way you go in the draft, obviously with a post-June 1st cut for Tre'Davious White, he can't technically sign until after June 1st. So you can get through the draft. Not that you can't start negotiations earlier, but to have him paired with Joey Porter and then fill that slot with either another veteran and let that rookie that you draft in the draft, unless you're going to take one of the top guys, kind of go into their, grow into that position, or, do you sign a veteran slot guy and then have a rookie on the outside? Now, before we get off this video, let's just take a look at some of the top cornerback options that are even on free agency. Number 1, Jalen Johnson from Chicago Bears, franchise tagged. Number 2, L'Jarius Sneed, Kansas City Chiefs, franchise tagged. Number 3, Kendall Fuller. I like that option also. While the Commanders were not good in 2023, he was kind of their lone bright spot. He's got the versatility of both playing slot, outside, and safety. So he gives that versatility. Obviously, we all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers have had some injury issues, specifically in the back end with Mika Fitzpatrick and others. So getting somebody like Kendall Fuller, a veteran, to still help groom Joey Porter Jr., but he's a good one. Jadobe Awuzie. The guy was a stud in Dallas a few years ago, and I think he's kind of that mid-level veteran guy that could come in and try to have a good, solid couple years at the end of his career. Number 5 on the list is Stephon Gilmore. Honestly, if I'm Stephon Gilmore and looking at, do I go back to Dallas to be a number 2 on a locked and loaded offense that, quite frankly, Dallas is really good, but they underperform every year? Or do you want to go to Pittsburgh, who is a playoff team, is considered a contender, but have major question marks on the offensive side of the ball, specifically with quarterback? I don't know if Stephon Gilmore wants to do that. Number 6, Steven Nelson. Obviously, we've all seen the reports. He's not coming back to Pittsburgh. Number 7, Kenny Moore. I'm not sure if he got franchise tagged or not. So we'll skip him. Number 8, Adoree Jackson. He cross-trained this last year with the Giants. So, originally he played outside. They tried him inside, didn't really work out. So he moved back to the outside. He could be another veteran guy that you could bring on the outside. Under the radar, 2 guys. Keshaun Nixon from Green Bay. He gives you a return option. I will say, as a Detroit Lions fan, he did have some really good returns, and he adds that element if you're bringing him in to be able to play special teams. And then the number 10 guy on the list is Sean Murphy-Bunting. Now, his career trajectory was on the up and up in Tampa, and then he went to Tennessee and kind of had an up and down year. And so you bring him in. The Pittsburgh Steelers already have a good defense, and you're just looking for an added complement to kind of help out some of those pieces that you already have. But let me know what you guys think in the comments on, obviously the Steelers can't sign everybody, and so they're going to have to be selective. We've got needs at D tackle, inside linebacker, corner. Obviously on the offensive side of the ball, who knows what's going to happen over there. But I'm interested to see what your guys' thoughts are. But like I said earlier, if you guys like this content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And until next time, guys, we'll talk to you guys later.